Warning, this video contains graphic images of giant spiders in a $1 million house. Well, hi there would have been a warning on this video. You know why I put warnings on videos? So trolls can just go away and they don't have an opportunity to say,
I saw something really horrific on your video, really scary, and it's really annoyed me and you're cruel.
Okay, so you've been given a warning already, but the first thing we're going to talk about is something I saw on my morning walk. I saw this mysterious gentleman with this very mysterious, brightly coloured cone on the side of the path. Of course, I was curious, and the first thing I thought of, wow, there's been a UFO here last night, and there's a government official coming in to take some data. Went up to the gentleman and said, hey, what you up to? How was the UFO last night? And he says, sir, it wasn't a UFO. I'm here mapping out the NBN, that is the National Broadband Network in your suburb. I said, wow, fibre optic cabling, finally. Australia is going to be a lucky country. We have waited many, many years for this to happen. I've made many a pun on YouTube about how decrepit my internet connection is. It takes me between 12 to 24 hours to put up one video onto YouTube. I've uploaded hundreds upon hundreds. It has been the bane of my life for the last 10 years. Maybe I'm going to get a reprieve, and once that cable's in, I'm going to spam upload so many videos to YouTube that I'm going to crush the algorithm and tell it where to go. But the gentleman I spoke to, he told me how the network works. He gave me a time frame as well. He was a lovely person to chat to. I do wonder why we're going with fibre, because I've heard Google Fibre in the USA are backing off on their fibre plans. Apparently wireless is the new technology and the technology of the future. Having fibre optic cable is a little bit sort of behind the times these days. Maybe you know more than me. Maybe you can tell me that fibre optic cable is the future. To be honest, I think things up on towers is where it's at. Let me show you next the telephone exchange where all my videos would go through when I upload onto YouTube. It's quite a curious building. Okay, that has been a very important portal for my uploads on the YouTube. That is a telephone exchange in my part of town in Sydney, and doesn't look totally awesome. Oh yeah, it's got graffiti tags on there. It's looking really rustic. This is up the back of the telephone exchange. As you can see, it's a highly secured area here. There's a sign there which says something private property, blah blah blah, but up the back of the exchange here is, I think, something that is worthwhile to see. There's a tower there that crawls right up there, right up, and up past the gum trees up there is what I would say is what the technology of the future is. Wireless technology, not fibre optics. So there you go. I never thought I would feature my local telephone exchange in a video, but having the NBN not far away is good news, I hope. The next thing I'm going to talk about is really a thank you to lots of people who laid in comments in relation to the video I produced talking about the downfall of my channel during 2016. I showed data in relation to two Thomas videos, and the data in a sense is one part of the story, but the bigger part of the story is the comments that people laid in who watched my videos, and they said, well, in essence they said, Leo, we've now had to search for your channel. We no longer see it on suggested lists and all the rest of the blah blah. I think in hearing that started to paint a picture of me in understanding why my channel is now stuffed. Thank you very much to the people who laid in comments, and if you're a producer on YouTube and you feel like you're being hard done by, maybe if you go and read those comments that were laid in my video, it might start to make you understand how possibly your channel has suffered a downfall. And when I talk about downfall, I talk about a grand downfall of, a year in length. And I'm not talking about little ups and downs that are the norm on YouTube. Sadly, some people were focusing on videos that were basically set up around the popular YouTubers. And of course, the way to get, spammy on YouTube is to talk about popular things, isn't it? Hey? PewDiePie, H3H3, both of those channels have just had massive increases. In fact, I think in a strange way, their downfall, yes, it was almost like a normal ebb and way of YouTube. YouTube is full of those, what you call spikes and dips. But when I see something that progresses on savagely for a year, that's activity that I've never seen before. And in a funny way, that's why I made the video, and that's why I became so concerned. And the audience almost has painted the picture of the algorithm for me. It's been very nice of them to do that. Let me just add on a bit here to this video. In the strangest place, I'm in a car wash, and I had this thought, there's a YouTuber, Casey Neistat, and he did this incredible amount of daily vlogs, and I always wondered, how did he ever get the time to devote to all those vlogs? I thought to myself, personally, I don't think I could pull that off, but he seemed to be able to do that. And if you take a look at his stats, as soon as he stopped these daily uploads, in a sense his channel really crashed, but he had a really good time where he made a name for himself. He got to the top of the poo pile, and I think he did very well. It'd be one of those things where people say, wow, could there be another vlogger which is going to surpass Casey Neistat? And I think there always is going to be. One thing I've noticed with YouTube over the 10 years is you'll have generations of YouTubers. You had the original generation, like the Michael Buckleys and all the rest of it, and sadly Michael Buckley has fallen on some very, very hard times. 2016 was a very cruel year for him. Like I said in previous videos, there's a stack of YouTubers who have been completely done over by the way people see the site now. But YouTube has been incredibly good at keeping fresh, and in a strange way, that's why, in a sense, it's still popular. I'll be honest here, when I first got onto YouTube, I thought I'll give this thing maybe 3 or 4 years, 5 years at the max, and it's going to be over. Little did I realise that it would become a much, much bigger thing. It just kept growing and growing. But I keep wondering about, you know, what do I hear all the time? I keep hearing Facebook video now. Every time I hear something in the media, Facebook video. Maybe you could tell me something different, but that's what I hear. Moving on to the last thing I'm going to talk about, hopefully make you laugh. Where I live, unfortunately, well, I'm walking past, every house is basically $1 million house here now. Property prices, they say, in general, double every 10 years. And people in America will be saying, well, how can that be, Leo? We had a massive property recession and blah, blah, blah. But that has never hit Australia. My query is, will it one day hit Australia? I've actually recently tried to buy another house. I already own one house. Luckily, I own it outright. Thank goodness. I'm not having to, you know, bend over to a bank somewhere. And to my astonishment, I went to this house, had my family there. We walked into this house, and I'm trying to get out of a spider-infested house. This house was utterly infested with huntsman spiders. Maybe I'll throw to some footage. Might get a laugh. I'm looking for a new home, run away from the spiders.
Look.
But this house is infested with huntsmen.
Well, you can't just jump out the window.
There's one having a sleep right there. Might give the spider a bit of a poke, I think. Make sure he's still alive. Oh yeah, live and kicking. Come on, little fella, come on. Welcome to Australia. See that little baby there alive, come on. Oh yeah, look at that. People said to me that they're pretty poor in eyesight. I don't think so. It knows I'm certainly here. Out you go, outside. And that's a classy little hidey hole I like to get into. Maybe I can shut that there. Good night, sister. Yes, house hunting in Australia is a little bit different maybe to overseas. How much would you pay for a spider-infested house? What value has that house got? Well, one argument point I said to my wife why I liked the house was, imagine all of the cluxy YouTube videos that could be generated from that spider-infested house. It has been a little bit unusual with the huntsman spiders because between 2016 2017, that's our summer in Australia, we've had very few in our house. And I sort of thought, well, what haven't we had this summer? We haven't had much rain. And I've always said it's rain events that bring the spiders into the house. The years back when I had real troubles with big huntsmen in the house was, I think, going back 2010, 2011, maybe 2012. And back then, that was a lot of like very wet, very sort of not hot summers, and if that makes any sense. This video has been made on iPhone 7. All of the second part of the video was just done on automatic settings. So as I've gone through that sort of dark area there, it's probably gone all sort of like, ooh. As for the focus, I can't tell until I get back home. But the iPhone 7 is good in a sense because I can take this phone into the pool. I've done that a couple of times now and it's still working, but I don't know how many times I can pull that off. Anyway, I better leave this video here. Thank you again to the people who laid in comments about how they don't see my channel. That's a nice argument point I can produce for Google if I can get in contact with them. As always, thanks for watching and bye for now.